everybody. Welcome to day 3 of our holiday challenge. I'm Kathleen and I'm here with my friend Erica Larson to join me. Hi Erica, what's up?
Hi, how's it going? Awesome sweater today.
Oh, you too. Got the memo. You also got the palm memo in the back. Twinning.
Other
Love
side.
it. Yeah. Which way?
Which way? Yeah, I don't know.
Chat, so it's good to see you. If you are joining us for the first time for this holiday challenge, it is not too late to participate. This is our Make a Gift, Get a Gift holiday challenge for you, brought to you by us. And if you want to join and check out what the challenges are, you can go ahead and go to the link in the chat and find out what we're going to be working on today. So I'm going to quickly intro that, and then I'll let Erica introduce Erica's self, and then we can jump into the process. So if you want to join us, we're going to be working on the Celebrate Getaways with a Wish We Were Here print today. If you can notice, I'm on my iPad. So we're going to be working with Fresco on the iPad, and you can make your gift here, make a gift for yourself, and then also get a gift. So we have this giveaway from Poketo. That's super awesome. Chat, I'm curious to know who has joined this giveaway yet. If I could, I would. And I know Erica would too. Yeah,
I would probably re-gift a lot of it for the people that I forgot about.
Yeah, those are like nicer gifts than I would think to get anyone. So I highly recommend, chat, that you enter this sweepstakes and follow along with us. So before we get started, Erica, who are you? And tell us a little bit about yourself.
Thanks, Kathleen. Hi, I am a designer. I work on the studio team creating all kinds of inspirational how-to content. So I love to teach people new things. I love design, and I'm really excited about this stream today.
Yeah, and Erica's here because, Erica, you designed kind of the first iteration of this workflow for Fresco on the iPhone. So chat, if you didn't know, Fresco is available on the iPhone. You can follow along with us on your phone if you don't have an iPad with you. And then I kind of translated it for iPad for today's challenge. So we're both going to be working on these landscapes at the same time, and then we will check out both of our work afterwards. It's going to be awesome. And if you want to share your work with us, you can share it on social with hashtag Adobe Make a Gift, or you can post it on the Discord. So you can post it in either the Illustrator or Photoshop Discord. Cool. So let's actually jump into the workflow. This is going to be awesome. So I am on, oh, that's Erica's Fresco, but that looks great.
Don't look yet.
Snorkel scene. We talked about that. That's awesome. We're on mine now, so we're looking at the landing page where you can enter the sweepstakes, and I'll show you the actual workflow that we're going to be going through today. We are working with this beautiful reference image from, I believe, Santorini, but I minimalized it. I made it nice and cool and modern and added this kind of Southwest color theme. So I'm going to show you how to go from a photo to this in just a few minutes flat. It's going to be great. So let's make a new document in Fresco. Yeah, thanks Wade in the chat for sharing the hashtag Adobe Make a Gift. Awesome. So if you are new on the iPad or with Fresco, it's super easy to make a new document. You can go to custom size, and I'm going to do the small postcard size just because I thought this might make a good like postcard to send to Erica, perhaps.
Oh.
Surprise. And if you want to choose a different size, you can by tapping these different sizes at the top. But you can also switch the orientation if you want to do a landscape, but we're going to stick with portrait for now. I'm going to create from here. Thanks, Kindle. Kindle loves the moon. Good to see you here. And that made the wrong size, so let's do that again. It happens. Small postcard. There we go. Okay, so I mentioned that we're going to be using a reference image. Mine is from Santorini. It looked like Erica's maybe was from some sort of Hawaiian adventure. Very nice. And I'm just going to grab my photo from the Creative Cloud library that's available to you on the written up tutorial. So I think Wade posted that link in the chat. You can follow along afterwards, step by step if you want, and get these images in color palettes. So let's go to Creative Cloud. Let's get that loaded up. It's going to think for a moment, wish we were here landscape, and open that up. And I don't think I mentioned this, but the whole idea behind these is to make a print commemorating a past travel or maybe a future wish of travel that you have. Travel's been interesting this year. So this is all about where you want to go in the future and remembering where you've been. So
yeah, in the chat, tell us where you want to go as soon as you can.
Yeah, I think I want to go back to Japan, like ASAP.
I could probably go to Japan for every vacation I ever have in the future and still be happy.
Yeah, I agree. Kendall says, hello from Snowy Tahoe. I want to see a Snowy Tahoe landscape print.
Me too.
That'd be awesome. Cool. So we have our image in here, and it's just going to act like our template for this. We're going to use our photo as the template and then draw with selections on top of it to create that nice minimal design. So the first thing we want to do with this image is turn the opacity down just a little bit over here on the side so that we can see what we're working with. And then let's get painting on top of here. So I'm going to make a new layer. Fresco always has a blank layer ready for you when you make a new document. So I could just drag that up in my layer stack if I wanted to, or make a new layer with the new layer button. And then I'm going to be using my lasso tool for a lot of this workflow. I think, Erica, when you designed this workflow, that was super genius to use the lasso tool instead of like having to hand draw every single little craggy piece of this mountain. Let's just make a selection and fill it.
It's especially handy if you're using your iPhone, just because, I mean, I have fumbly little fingers, so it makes it a lot easier to draw something on the go.
Yeah, there you go. So I'm going to just draw using the mountainscape as my guide. And since we're going to be working in almost like a screen print fashion, I'm going to work furthest back to closest. So we're going to work on this furthest back mountainscape first and work closer towards the beach. So using this as my guide, I'm just going to kind of draw a little bit of a contour. I can just tap around the edges to complete that. And then let's use one of our live watercolor brushes to fill it in. I'm going to choose the soft wash, and let's grab a color from the Creative Cloud library that I provided for you guys. So if you scroll down to the bottom, wish we were here landscape. There we go. I'm going to increase my size, make sure it has a lot of water in it, and just kind of flood this plane with color.
We are embracing the organic brushes today.
Definitely. And if you've never played with the live brushes, they're the best.
So
highly
fun.
recommend. Yeah. So we have our furthest shape done. It doesn't look like much now, but it definitely will in just a few steps. Let's make a new layer, and I'm going to turn off the visibility of the shape we just made by tapping this little eye icon. Let's use the lasso tool, and let's work on this right second most close mountain range. So kind of just using an organic shape to fill in those little crags. Tap, 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 finish it off. And let's fill it with color. So I'm going to go kind of dark to light. That's also going to help us with that atmospheric perspective goodness. So let's fill this in with an orange. Look at all that liquid digital water. I know this is about as like close to real watercolor as I want my iPad to get without damaging it. So this is great. All right, deselect that. We could get a little preview of how they're looking. Not bad. Like it. Terry says, what app is this? This is Adobe Fresco. Very
There have
cool.
been so many amazing vacations planned.
Yeah, tell me about them.
Some New Zealand. Kendall proposed a studio team adventure trip, which sounds amazing to me.
Let's make that happen.
Miley and Terry are going to Portugal, all over the world. Wow. And one person wants to go to the movie theater, which I 100% relate to.
Yes. You know, I heard that at least in my town, you can rent a movie theater for like $100 for like your birthday. And it's just like, just you in the movie theater by yourself. And I'm like, that kind of sounds a little bit enticing. I miss it.
Lay across the seats like when you're teenagers.
I don't think I ever did that, but that's very rebellious and cool of you.
I don't know if rebellious and cool are words that I would describe my teenage self as, but thank you. We can rewrite history.
No problem. Okay, so I'm going to fill in this ocean layer with this kind of peachy color. I know it's a strange color to fill for ocean waves, but I thought since we have this nice analogous color palette, it might be strange to throw in like some turquoise. So this is my organic avant-garde choice.
I think that's my favorite thing about the project is that even if you take kind of a crappy picture, you can just remake reality in your artwork.
Yeah, like I definitely didn't exactly follow the mountain ranges because I wanted to add a little more dynamic movement going on in here. And I'm allowed to do that. because it's my design.
So much power.
I know, you really do wield all of the power in this app. We're almost done, just filling these planes with color quickly. And then we were gonna move on to adding a background in that beautiful moon that you saw. Let's do one more. And there
I've been neglecting mine. I'm
You've
distracted
been doing,
by the chat.
yeah, you're doing your job as a moderator, a chat friend. What's up, Sean? Sean, I saw that you had your work reviewed in the last stream. That was awesome. It was really cool to see all of your daily creative challenges getting some love.
I'm so impressed by the people who do all of the challenges. It's such great practice, and also putting yourself out there to be reviewed is super brave.
Right. Sean is one of those people. I think Sean literally has like 10 DCCs on the Behance portfolio.
Good job, Sean.
Totally. Cool. So we have our landscape pretty much together, and it didn't look like much at the first, but now we have that atmosphere with the darkness in the back moving forward. We have that beach in there. It's looking pretty cool. And the most satisfying step is to turn off your photograph layer. And now it's just an illustration. Now we can really go wild. Fairy says, do I have to draw it or can I create it like a surreal collage?
Ooh.
I say yes. What do you think, Erica?
I say definitely yes. I love that idea.
No rules here. So when I turned off that background image, I made a new layer so that I could then add a little bit of a background. I'm gonna just wash in this peachy color, almost letting the watercolor become like a cloud shape, which is pretty cool. We could turn down the water flow a bit. Add that there. And let's add some graphic elements. I really like that you added this, Erica, when you designed the tutorial, to have that nice little pop of crisp graphic shape up in the top. So on a new layer, let's use our shape tool in Fresco, and we can use shapes from Capture or from other Creative Cloud libraries, but I'm just going to use the basic shape of a circle to add a nice moon. We're going to place it where we want it. I'm going to choose the color that I want, that nice white creamy color, and we're going to fill it. And if we want a crescent moon, it's super duper easy. I'm just going to move the shape over, click erase, and there you go. We have a moon. That easy. And now let's add some final details before we check out Erica's work of adding some maybe like topographic lines to the mountains to add a little bit of depth there. And there's a couple different ways we could do this. We could make like a clipping mask, but for this example, I'm going to show you how to lock the transparency of your pixels so that you can scribble inside of a layer and not have to worry about it going outside the edges. So I have my furthest back mountains selected. And then in this triple dot menu, I'm going to tap lock transparency, and you'll notice a little icon with a lock appears in my layer stack. And this is going to allow me to grab just a basic, let's do a sketching brush, maybe the pencil, maybe this orange. It's going to allow me to scribble within this mountain range without going outside of the edges. I could literally scribble like this if I want, or I could use some lines like this to show that it's moving backwards in space.
Nifty.
Yeah, reiterate that like sedimentary layers in the rock kind of goodness. And just keep going from there. So we'll add maybe a little bit of red into this one. Follow along. And I'm going to pop back to the final image to show you how it all comes out at the end. Here we go. So you'll notice that I did those topographic lines, even added maybe some waves to the water, which is awesome. Yeah. And then some clouds in the sky, which is super cool.
Gorgeous.
Oh, Rita's here. Rita says, I'm going on a staycation, bunch of California state parks as soon as you're able to.
Great idea.
Yeah, that sounds lovely. Cool. So I think we're about good here. I also added a frame around the edge. Actually, let me show you how I did that really quick before we toss it over to Erica. So the frame is super duper easy using the same shape tool in Fresco. Let's make a new layer on top. I'm going to choose the basic shape of a square and just drag it out to fit as large as I want it to be.
I feel like we need a siren every time somebody makes a pun in the chat, and Kendall is the offender this time.
Pew, pew, pew.
Dropping some geology knowledge.
Kendall, keep it coming. You're allowed. Okay, so we have this nice square here, and let's actually do a selection. In the triple dot menu, we're going to invert the selection, and then I'm going to use the fill bucket to fill it with white. There you go. We have a nice print that we can send out to our friends. We can hang on our wall to commemorate where we've been and where we want to go. Very cool. Dorina says it's the perfect opportunity to try painting with the lock transparency in Photoshop. Yeah, or in Fresco. Awesome. So Erica, can we see what you've been working on? I think your scene's going to be a lot different than mine.
I'm not quite finished, but it's a good start.
Okay.
I discovered a new brush.
Ooh.
What is it called? It is called Scratchy Bristles.
Yes.
And it is juicy. I use it on the sky and in the waves. And I think I'm going to add some more of those line details like you did later on. But yeah, this is from a very special trip to Hawaii where I snorkeled for the first time, and it was magical.
Oh my gosh. That sounds just about right now. So how did you make the clouds? Did you use that scratchy bristle?
Yeah, I didn't even really have a plan. I just went for it.
Cool. I'd like to see like your layer breakdown, if you wouldn't mind turning some off.
Yeah.
Yeah, and chat, if you have questions about Fresco while we're going through this, please pop them in there. We're here for a couple more minutes and would be happy to help.
Yeah, so I did some of the details using the transparency technique, like in the rocks at the bottom, and then I also just kind of went for it on a separate layer in the sky. But I really like how you get the clean line of the selection and then the sort of more textured stuff inside, like for example on the foliage.
Nice. I feel like there's some brushes that Kyle Webster released that you can use in Fresco, like the Cezanne brushes or the foliage brushes. Yeah. That'd be really nice to kind of model the color.
I think I will do that.
Ooh. Dorina says, I love the palm trees.
Yeah, I think I need to add a few more. Actually, let's look at the original photo. It's really drab, which is not how it is in my memory.
Gus says, Hawaii, the dream.
The dream, yeah. Like I said, we're building our own reality. So more color.
I think this photo has awesome depth in it. Like the rocks kind of stepping backwards and then the foliage even further. That's awesome. So chat, if you want to share your work with us, like I mentioned at the start, we definitely want to see it. I want to know also how you are tweaking the workflow. For example, Erica used a different brush and added a little more texture. You don't have to use the live brushes. You can if you want. Create your own reality. Gus wants to know, is this two-step the snorkel spot? Maybe the best snorkel place. Erica's secret spot. Love it. Laura says Hawaii en route to Greece. Let's go. That's actually so true. Man, after seeing the depth in your work, I want to add a little more depth in mine. Maybe we can do that super quick before we finish it out. Oh, there we go. Took a second to load. So we can pop back over to my screen and maybe use these watercolor brushes to add a little bit more darkness and lightness to our mountains. Perfect. So I think maybe closer to the beach, we need like more of a contrast between the orange and the sand. So I'm gonna drop back in with like a really wet brush. It's crazy that you can say like, I'm gonna use a wet brush on my iPad, but really you can increase the water. You can also increase the paint flow. So lots of paint, lots of water. You can even look in these lines. You can see that it is actually blending them like real water would do, which is awesome. Terry says, I've been to two-spot. No way. Two-step, I mean. Small world. Maybe add a little bit of depth here.
I love what's happening in your piece.
Yeah, I didn't really realize that adding liquid to the pencil lines would make them like fuzzy like that.
Me neither, but how cool.
Yeah, it's way more natural looking. And then we can go back in with an actual like dry brush and add those lines back in.
Wayne Smith says that they're going to play with Fresco more for their 2021 resolution, which I love to hear.
Wayne, good to see you. We're always trying to catch each other on the live stream and we can never do it. Nice. I'm excited to see what Wayne paints. Wayne's also a great traditional watercolorist.
Wow, really?
Mm-hmm. Oh, look, I'm getting a little snap to action that I didn't realize I was getting. You can do this in Fresco, but I don't want that. So there we go. Cool. So I dig this. Erica, I think we both landed in good spots for the workflow. And chat, we're going to be back tomorrow for another workflow, the final workflow, and Erica's going to lead it, which is going to be awesome. Do you want to give a little sneak tidbit about what we're going to be working on? You don't have to show anything.
Sure. We are going to use shapes to set intentions for the new year.
Yes. I love this. This whole challenge has been about not just like, let's just make some stuff. It's had some meaning behind it. And hopefully it's helped everyone have a little bit nicer of a holiday. I know it's helped me for sure. So we're going to be back same time, same place tomorrow with Erica and I working in Fresco again. So if you didn't get it downloaded today, get it downloaded for tomorrow. And I'm excited for it. So chat, make sure you post your work on social, tag us, put it on Discord, and we will see you tomorrow morning. Bye, everybody.
Bye.